November 24th, 1971. High above the rainy, cloud-covered forests of Washington state, a Boeing 727 commercial airliner is flying through a violent winter storm. Inside the cabin, a quiet, middle-aged man sitting in seat 18E calmly sips a glass of bourbon. He is wearing a dark suit, a crisp white shirt, a black tie, and heavy, dark sunglasses. To the flight attendants, he looks like an ordinary, unremarkable businessman. His ticket is booked under the name Dan Cooper. A few minutes after takeoff, Cooper hands a folded note to a young flight attendant. She assumes it is just a phone number, so she drops it unopened into her pocket. Cooper leans forward, smiles calmly, and whispers over the roar of the engines, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." The flight attendant opens the note. Inside, written in neat capital letters, are the terrifying words, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. Sit next to me." Cooper opens his small leather bag, just enough for her to see a mass of red cylinders, thick wires, and a large battery. He isn't making wild demands or shouting threats. He speaks with absolute calmness, demanding $200,000 in negotiable $20 bills, 4 civilian parachutes, and a refueling truck waiting on the runway in Seattle. But his ultimate plan is far more insane than a simple ransom. Once the plane lands in Seattle, the passengers are safely traded for the cash, and the aircraft lifts back into the dark, stormy sky, heading toward Mexico. Flying low at 10,000 feet through blinding rain and freezing winds, Cooper orders the remaining crew into the cockpit. Suddenly, a warning light flashes on the dashboard. The plane's aft stairs, the exit door at the very back of the aircraft, have been completely lowered in mid-air. If Cooper jumps into the freezing, pitch-black mountain wilderness without specialized winter gear, the impact and the cold will kill him in minutes. If the FBI tracking planes tracking him through the storm catch a single glimpse of his descent, the largest manhunt in American history will end before he ever touches the ground. He is executing the only unsolved skyjacking in commercial aviation history, and he is about to vanish into the clouds forever. This was the mystery of D.B. Cooper. It remains one of the most baffling and legendary criminal investigations of the 20th century. It was a flawless escape that forced the FBI to spend decades chasing a ghost, permanently altering how the world protects the skies. To understand how a single man could hijack a commercial airliner and vanish without a trace, you have to look back at the wide-open reality of aviation in 1971. Air travel during this era was completely different from today. There were no TSA agents, no X-ray machines, no background checks, and no ID requirements to buy a domestic ticket. Passengers could simply walk up to the counter, pay cash under a fake name, and board a plane with whatever they were carrying in their bags. The aviation industry was completely vulnerable, and Dan Cooper knew it. He also possessed a highly sophisticated knowledge of aircraft mechanics and aerodynamics. He deliberately chose to hijack a Boeing 727 because of a unique design flaw. It was one of the few commercial jets equipped with aft stairs, a door located at the very rear of the cabin, directly under the tail, that could technically be opened during flight. Cooper also knew exactly how to instruct the pilots. He ordered them to fly the massive jet at the lowest possible speed without stalling the engines, and to keep the altitude strictly below 10,000 feet. By keeping the plane low, he ensured that the cabin pressure wouldn't drop violently when the door opened, and he wouldn't need a heavy oxygen mask to breathe. He was treating a commercial airliner like a military paratrooper transport plane, and the FBI realized they were dealing with an expert. The plane landed at the Seattle-Tacoma Airport under absolute secrecy. FBI agents rushed to gather the $200,000 from local banks, ensuring the serial numbers on every single $20 bill were carefully recorded. They also sourced 4 military-grade parachutes from a local skydiving school. Cooper accepted the cash and the parachutes, released all 36 passengers safely, and ordered the pilots back into the air. As the plane flew south through a blinding rainstorm over the rugged, heavily forested mountains of southwest Washington, Cooper went to work. He put on his heavy, dark sunglasses, securely strapped the heavy canvas bag of cash to his waist, and fastened 2 of the parachutes to his body. He walked to the very back of the empty, howling cabin. At roughly 8:13 p.m., as the aircraft flew over a dense, unpopulated wilderness known as the aerial region, the pilots felt a sudden, distinct upward surge in the plane's tail section. Cooper had stepped out onto the open stairs and plummeted directly into the sub-zero 80-mile-per-hour winds of the winter storm. He dropped into the pitch-black night, falling through thick storm clouds toward a jagged landscape of freezing rivers, massive pine trees, and absolute wilderness. He was gone. The moment the plane safely landed in Reno, Nevada, with its rear stairs dragging along the tarmac, the FBI launched a massive joint military and federal investigation named Hijacked. Hundreds of soldiers, federal agents, and tracking dogs flooded the Washington forests, scouring every square mile of the rugged terrain. They searched for a torn parachute, a scrap of dark clothing, or a broken briefcase, but they found absolutely nothing. The environment was an impenetrable maze of deep mud, thick brush, and freezing winter weather. The FBI cross-referenced the recorded serial numbers on the ransom bills with banks, casinos, and businesses all across the globe, waiting for Cooper to start spending his stolen fortune. But not a single one of the $20 bills ever entered circulation. For nearly a decade, the case remained completely cold. Then, in February 1980, an 8-year-old boy digging in the sand along the Columbia River beach made a stunning discovery. He uncovered 3 degraded bundles of cash, totaling nearly $6,000. The FBI rushed to the scene and confirmed the bombshell truth. The serial numbers matched the D.B. Cooper ransom money perfectly. The money was heavily degraded, half buried in the river sediment, miles away from the suspected jump zone. But there was no sign of a body, no parachute strings, and no clothing. The discovery only deepened the mystery. Did Cooper die during the freezing jump, his body washed away by the river? Or did he simply lose a small portion of his cash while escaping safely into a new life under a new name? The legendary skyjacking completely rewrote the rules of aviation security. To prevent anyone from ever replicating the escape, the Federal Aviation Administration ordered a mandatory engineering modification to all Boeing 727 aircraft. A small, aerodynamic metal latch, known to this day as the Cooper vane, was installed on the exterior of every plane, automatically locking the rear stairs the moment the aircraft lifts off the runway. In 2016, after 45 years of exhaustive searching, interviewing thousands of suspects, and filling massive archive rooms with useless leads, the FBI officially suspended the active investigation. D.B. Cooper had beaten the system, leaving behind nothing but an empty tie clip on seat 18E and a legendary ghost story that the world will never forget. What do you think about this historic, unsolved skyjacking? Do you think D.B. Cooper survived that freezing jump into the stormy wilderness? Or did the mountains claim him that night? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you found this high-stakes story of escape fascinating, make sure to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to Black Box Doc so you never miss our next deep dive into hidden history. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.